Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest weekly roundup video for Eve Echoes. Yes, it has been a while since I've done one of these videos, and yes, it's been a while since I've actually done a video. But we're going to try and get this wheel rolling once again, starting with these weekly roundup videos. So, in this video, we're just going to go through the week's news, you know, the notable highlights as it were, and boy oh boy, are there some highlights. But first, I'm just going to ask you to tickle that subscribe button if you haven't done already, as we slowly make our way to 1,000. But anyway, let's not spend too much time begging for subscribers. Let's move on to what has actually been going on. So first and foremost, we have had the end of the Interstellar Bazaar event. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the event, maybe you're coming across this video not being completely familiar with Eve Echoes, I don't know. It's basically the cash grab event. It's where all of the whales come along and compete to spend the most amount of money. That's literally the only explanation I have for that event. Anyway, it's finally come to a close now, so when you log in, you don't have a barrage of event pages to have to navigate through. And yeah, for those of us that aren't whales, the event is always just a waste of time, I've got to be honest. Moving on, we had an announcement. I've not got it screenshotted, unfortunately. This came from Taylor Rick. I can't remember if it was Corp-wide, Alliance-wide, or Coalition-wide. I cannot remember. But there is talk that a 30-man Blops sheep. Wow, sheep. Where did sheep come from? I have no idea. A 30-man Blops fleet. I was going to say sheep again then, wasn't I? I'm keeping this in. Anyway, has been banned because apparently it was all being scripted by one or two individuals. Whether it was specifically one or two, I don't know. And these things don't tend to get announced on the Eve Echoes official Discord. But I'm pretty sure in this week's Echoes of New Eden podcast, that will probably get brought up. So if you're thinking about scripting and doing all that sort of cheese, just don't. Save yourself some effort. If somebody reports you and they look into it, bye 30 accounts. That's all I'm saying. Moving on to the biggest topic of the week. And as you can see up on screen right here, I should have done a better job cropping the camera in hindsight because my arm actually goes over the screen a little bit. But as you can see on my side on the screen, I decided to kind of Photoshop a photo reel onto the camera, onto the screen. You can tell I'm out of practice with this, can't you? You can really tell. Anyway, up on the screen right now in that direction is just a handful of screenshots, just to kind of help demonstrate what's been going on. So if for some reason you haven't logged into the game this week, or this just completely blindsided you, you didn't know what was going on, we have this interesting scenario whereby completely random systems, I mean, from the networking perspective, it won't be random, but from our perspective, completely random systems that have nothing in common with each other, you know, from our perspective, are just completely shutting down. You can get into them, but you can't get out. So what's happening is people are flying through space, whether it be manually or on autopilot, which was my case, trying to haul around PI. You jump into a system, and then your autopilot stops. Because what your autopilot does is it reaches out to the next gate and hits the jump command. But the jump command on all Stargates in that system is broken. Just completely broken. So your ship just stays there. It stays there until the jump command is available again and it can actually proceed and jump through the gate. So what this has resulted in is just people gathering around gates, just completely unable to jump through. And through examples, you'll notice in this photo reel as it comes up a few times, just bubbles surrounding gates in high sec. Because, you know, people's autopilots are on, they've gotten as far as that one gate, and then they can't go any further. And you've got hundreds of people just stuck around a single Stargate, just waiting to jump. And of course, in low sec and null sec, that's kind of resulted in a fish in a barrel scenario, whereby all of these people in interceptors that are, you know, AFK hauling stuff on a rather secure route are just getting stuck. They're just getting stuck. They're not necessarily aware that they're stuck, so they just stay there, logged in game, And then, of course, a couple of Reds and Newts come along and go, oh yeah, it's fish in a barrel here. Of course, we can't get out immediately, but it's still fish in a barrel. And you can see right now, just look at that bubble on screen right now. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Now, of course, those of us that were logged in were like, yeah, okay, whatever. We know the Stargate is messed up. Let's just go and dock up in a nearby station, assuming, of course, there is a station in the system that you're in. No, you don't. You can't dock. You cannot dock in the stations in that same bugged out system. You just couldn't. You could warp to the station and then log off outside of it, but you couldn't dock in the station. And this was how it was playing out on Thursday, I believe. So, yeah, it was quite interesting. So your next thought is, okay, I'm just going to create a safe spot, warp to the safe spot, log out from there. You know, that's kind of the right thing to do in low sec and null sec. If you can't safely dock up or jump to the next system and there's hostiles in the area, create a safe spot and log off from there. Autopilot doesn't work. You could not actually warp to a safe spot. You could create your safe spot. There was no problems there whatsoever. But you couldn't warp to one. So what I ended up doing was warping to 100 of a cosmic anomaly and then flying in a straight line until I hit about, 250 kilometers? You know, the point at which the rats stop aggressing you. And then I'd log off there. That was the closest thing to a safe spot that I could achieve. It was quite entertaining, actually. And as you can see right now, you've got people on Discord joking about the Sun Chaser nanocore finally being useful, because it would actually allow you to bypass Stargates in high sec whenever you got stuck. It's bonkers. I mean, they need to find a way to make the Sun Chaser nanocore relevant. They really do, because it was relevant that day. And of course, all of this happened again yesterday and is still technically happening. And there was one more interesting thing that happened just to top it all off. And my character Hale is still suffering this particular conundrum, right? So eventually I was able to dock because there was this anecdotal evidence, you know, people stating it in Discord and in Corp chat and so on, saying if you log off and log on enough times or force quit the game enough times, you can actually dock safely. So I'm like, oh, okay, this works, does it? This works. So I rebooted the game probably about 5 or 6 times. Hit dock on the station, nope. Hit dock on the station, nope. Hit dock on the station, game crashes. Okay, game crashes. Log back into the game. Login screen says I'm docked, perfect. I try to log in, black screen. Every subsequent logging in attempt on that character, no matter what device I use, gives me a black screen. So I cannot actually log in on my character right now, which is quite entertaining. I can log in on my other characters, but do I dare jump a Stargate? Do I dare jump a Stargate and get stuck in this all over again? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I was only out in a cover to 2 at least. At least I wasn't in a capital or anything expensive like that. That would have been hilarious. But yeah, that was quite fun. So what that brings us to now, and I'm just going to bring it up on screen ever so quickly. I'm in the wrong area. Give me a moment, guys. Apparently I have moved away from the very screen that had all the screenshots saved in, just to make things awkward for me. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. So that brings us to the announcement from the developers, or in this case, Lancelot. I honestly can't remember if Lancelot is a developer or a mod guy. Let me know in the comments section. But we have an emergency temporary maintenance. So 2 hours starting from 0800 UTC to 1000 UTC. For those of us in Britain, that's 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock this morning, so you will not be able to log into the game during that time. In theory, they're going to fix all of these problems. But they've also apparently fixed all of these problems at least once already. So the jury's out on this one. The jury's out on this one. You also got to bear in mind that it is the weekend. So with it being the weekend, does Netease have the full dev team that they would normally have allocated to the game during Monday to Friday working week? I don't know. Are they going to be slapping a plaster on this, or are they going to be fixing the problem? we don't know. And depending on what it is they do today, might happen again. Within 5 hours of this video going live, it might happen again. And if it does, at least you know what to expect now, because there is a video up about it. And I presume Damon Zell hasn't done a video yet, and he's the only other regular YouTuber at the moment for Eve Echoes. So if anybody's done a video on it yet, I reckon it will be Damon Zell, but I don't think so. Because, and I might as well include this as part of the roundup, Damon is trying to cut back a little bit on Eve Echoes, both on gameplay and on his actual video output. And I can't say I blame him there, especially considering I've been doing the same for the past month anyway. As you can tell, my channel's been rather empty. But yeah, I need to get back to working on my channel. I've got like a half a dozen scripts just completely ready to go, both Eve related and not Eve related, and just haven't had the time to get around to any of it. It's just big project going on behind the scenes. Hopefully when it all pays off, I'll have a crap ton more spare time to spend on all of this. But I am probably going to have to cut the video there and stop rambling soon, because I can feel my voice going. Yeah. So, yeah, have you experienced any other weird issues this week in Eve Echoes? If you have, let me know in the comments section below, and while you're there, just hit that subscribe button. It's only one button press, and it would just be amazing if you did. But anyway, I'm going to cut the ramble there. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you around the next Stargate in New Eden. Ta-ra.